Hi.
Good lord, what's happening here? Wong asks.
Is it
wait,
stabilized? Is it back?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but hopefully it is.
Being censored like it's when the Russians didn't want me to shitpost.
Yeah, instead of it's the Americans not wanting me to fucking express my opinion about the worldview.
No, I do. I do.
No.
Not the Americans as in us. The Americans as in the U.S. government.
Yes.
As in Trump.
As in Twitch. As in Bezos.
Trump's hearing our bullshit and it's just like, we gotta arrest. They're coming for the trans person first.
Oh, Baba.
But yeah,
Anyway.
it's just. And the worst part is, people believe the shit that happened in the Middle Ages and in Rome, but don't fucking believe in the shit that's going on now that has happened 100 years ago.
People don't believe in shit that's happening today.
People also misunderstand what was going on back in the Middle Ages. Like, okay, a lot of them will be like, well, we didn't need vaccines back then.
Yeah, because people were dying at 30.
Exactly.
And also,
exactly.
the church
People were dying
controlled
at
everything.
3.
No,
Yeah,
I said
like
I said
that.
at 30, like, being generous. Like, an adult
If we're
can live until 30.
I'd like to point out, if you go to any graveyard in the United States that's sufficiently old, there will usually be a section dedicated to children. And there are vast, like, endless rows of children, and nearly, almost without fail, the headstones all but stop in the 1950s.
You know, when vaccines were introduced.
When mass vaccination became a thing, yes.
And people not... It really feels like we're trying to be sent back into the Middle Ages.
I'd like to point out, the only legitimate grievance I've ever seen against vaccines was specifically the original, I think it was the original smallpox vaccine, where Hindus refused to get it because the original smallpox vaccine involved cowpox, which involved cows, and the cow is the holy animal in Hinduism.
Yeah.
That said, it's not like they didn't do anything. They just maintained using inoculation, which was the older method against diseases, which was supplanted by vaccination, not because vaccination was necessarily better, but because vaccination was easier.
Yeah, and then once, you know, you don't need those kinds of things, you can just use it.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Like,
that was the only legitimate grievance. It was on strong religious grounds.
Yeah.
And it was one where as soon as an alternative was found, it's like, they weren't against the concept, they were against the specific implementation of it.
Yeah, if this one very specific thing needed to be implemented because it, you know, clashes with their beliefs, which, understandable. Okay.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I have a cat who's very afraid of brooms. I'm sorry.
Oof.
It's just, I'm sorry for having gone off the rails like that. I'm not usually the guy who goes off like that. But I just...
No, I get it.
It's breaking me.
It's valid. Completely fucking valid. Especially, but it's even worse for people who live here. I
know, that's why I'm, like, genuinely worried for both you two, Kane, Mina, and everyone else I know. Because it's like, what's going to happen to them? You know?
Oh, not prosperity, I'll tell you that much.
Like, can't we just go back to, like, the mid-2000s? Like, I'm not even asking... Welcome back. But I'm not even asking, like, that many years. I'm asking, like, 2008. Can we go back to 2008, like, before the crisis?
Immediately before the housing bubble burst? Yeah.
Yeah, that era, that was nice. We had a nice thing
It was
there.
nice we were young enough that we were oblivious to the world around us. Let's be real.
But not
Yeah.
even, but like, yeah, well, about that, Amy. But yeah, no, even then, it's just like, can't we just go back to an era where, you know, we didn't have to fear that the biggest country in the world is just preparing to go basically kamikaze?
Back.
Welcome back.
Say what you will about Obama and his excessive drone strikes in the Middle East, but at least he wasn't taking the entire. At least he wasn't crashing the global economy and taking you with him.
Exactly. Literally that, yeah.
At this point, a lot of
You know,
the old presidents look better, like compared to that guy. So yeah, it's not really a
I'll
hard
be
job.
honest. I'd rather have Reagan.
And that's saying something, considering
Reagan
who
was at
Ronald
least
Reagan
competent.
is.
I'll be honest. I'd rather have Richard Nixon.
No. I draw the line. No, not even Nixon. Nixon is on the same level as him. We're not including Nixon as an alternative. No.
I am.
No, I don't agree. I strongly disagree. I think a lot of the reason why people are able to even do this is mostly because of shit from him. So I know.
If Trump did Watergate, no one would care at this point. That would be a Tuesday.
But
that would be a slow news week.
Yeah.
I still don't think that it's an option, in my opinion.
Anyway,
Fair enough.
moving on from this. This week, RFK Jr. had some Senate hearing about something that doesn't matter. It was interrupted by protesters. Most notably, Ben Cohen of Ben and Jerry's.
Yep.
Who got arrested for interrupting Congress. And he and the others were there to protest U.S. support for the continued war in Israel, in Gaza. To quote Ben Cohen, quote, Congress kills poor kids in Gaza by buying bombs and pays for it by kicking kids off Medicaid in the U.S.
Yeah, pretty much.
In unrelated news, there's a
Based in
story I
Jerry's,
missed.
more like.
Yeah. I missed back in February when this happened. Apparently, the Trump administration put sanctions on an international criminal court prosecutor, undermining the agency's ability to investigate and prosecute war crimes and crimes against humanity. Because he was investigating crimes against humanity committed by the Israeli Defense Force.
Yep.
In Gaza. Denmark has announced it will be conducting a one-year study into modern nuclear power technology, and depending on the results of that study, potentially lift their 40-year-long ban on nuclear power in the country.
Damn.
Jimmy.
Yeah?
Reading through Pokemon merch reviews, parentheses, very funny.
Oh, yeah, okay. Finally, we get something nice and wholesome. On
To the wholesome for a bit.
Yeah, on Thursday, I was... I think it's when I saw the penny bag. Yeah, I think it's when I saw the penny bag. God damn it. Hada boy! Alright, I'm gonna go have dinner. You people keep talking about depression shit. If there are still things to talk about, I'll be back soon.
Alright, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Alright. We'll get back to that. We're gonna go to the city of Prague in the Czech Republic, because they have done several things that are very funny. They are trolling the shit out of the Russian embassy. Here's a picture. They have been trolling the shit out of the Russian embassy by renaming basically everything around the Russian embassy.
Oh.
After we've got Alexei Navalny Outlook, Boris Nemtsov Square, Anna Poltavskov Promenade, and the Ukrainian Heroes Street, which is the address the Russian embassy is actually on.
W from Czech Republic.
Yeah. They named a bunch of things around the Russian embassy after various Russian dissidents, and then named the street that the address is on Ukrainian Heroes Street.
Let's go, bro.
Based.
Really based, yeah.
Goddamn Prague.
Like, imagine if in protest, Florida renamed the street Mar-a-Lago onto Joe Biden Avenue.
No, they wouldn't call it Joe Biden Avenue.
Well, I know
Well,
Florida obviously wouldn't do this, but it's basically
No.
effect.
No. They call it something like China Boulevard
Okay.
or Mexico Avenue.
Mexico Avenue would be crazy.
Or another one would be, what would be another good one? I don't know.
Or the street the White House is at the Gulf of Mexico.
No,
I
it'd
have
be
no
like
idea.
if the I don't know. I'm just thinking of a good example. But they're really the main one. No, it'd be as if they renamed where a Chinese embassy was to be that it's in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
That too. That's a good one though.
Or something with the Uyghurs.
Continuing on from that absolute based nonsense. The Sun did a funny.
The Sun. Oh wait, that is the British thingy, right?
No, as in the Sun.
Ah, you meant the Sun itself! Oh, okay.
Star. Yes. Pulling up the NASA article on it. The Sun released a strong solar flare this week, peaking at 11:38 a.m. Eastern Time on May 13th. Which the big powerful burst of energy, as it does, notably, there is, here it is, I believe this is the correct map, of the area most affected by the solar activity.
Yeah.
And apparently it caused a bunch of problems in Europe, mainly in Europe, apparently, where there was problems reported with the interference with like the communications and electrical grids and whatnot, because a bunch of solar activity messes with things.
Yeah, like a
So-
big solar flare once again could do a lot of it.
That happened, but that is not the only thing that occurred from this. Because NASA also released photos. Is this one of the actual photos? I believe it is. A photo captured by the Perseverance Mars rover of visual light auroras on Mars.
Ooh.
The first ever recorded instance of a visual spectrum auroras being visible on the Martian surface.
Neat. That's cool. I really
That
like
is
that. That's-
beautiful.
To get
Yeah.
visual light to travel that far through a telescope is actually quite difficult, from my understanding. So that's a
That-
cool
that-
thing.
That's not what this is.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
This is
The
the
Perseverance.
Northern Lights, but on Mars.
Yeah.
I guess
Aurora.
I'm really not.
There's no telescope involved. This is just a picture taken by the Mars rover.
Oh, the rover. Sorry, my brain. Fucking,
Yeah.
Still, it's
It's
pretty
really
cool to see.
Don't worry.
In other news, we have the U.S. Supreme Court did something good. They did a unanimous ruling which amended the legal doctrine on the use of excessive force lawsuits, basically saying that courts must now examine the totality of circumstances rather than the, quote, moment of threat, which was the previous doctrine, which should make it easier for excessive force lawsuits to be won for victims of police brutality.
Oh, thank God.
That's ironic given the state of the Supreme Court, but I'm okay with that.
Yep. No news. A Danish construction company made the news this week for returning its entire corporate fleet of Teslas over Elon Musk's bullshit.
Let's go! Another strike at him.
They aim to replace them with European electric vehicles.
Let's go, Europe. Yeah, let's just use our European vehicles.
Newark Airport in New Jersey is continuing to have troubles with its ATC system, with more outages reported. Notably, at one point this week, it was reported that the 15-man ATC network was being operated by one ATC technician and a trainee.
Wow. Just wow.
This is the busiest airport in the United States.
That is just absolutely sad.
That's the busiest airport.
I believe so.
Newark Airport.
I believe it was Delta Airlines put out a statement saying, yeah, the technology's so old, our flights have actually gotten slower over the years due to delays from all the system issues.
I don't know. Okay.
In other news, GeoGuessr released on Steam.
Oh, it did?
The GeoGuessr Steam Edition has released to overwhelmingly negative reviews.
Why so?
Really?
Yes. Because it costs money, has less features than the web version, and is just generally worse.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
GG.
Yeah.
It's apparently one of the worst reviewed games on Steam at the moment.
I'm not surprised.
But not worse, but not as much as
I don't know. I do not know if it's worse than Overwatch 2. In other news, a Utah senator has, for the third time, proposed a bill to ban porn into the federal, into the U.S. government.
I'm not even surprised because this is...
Again, this is the third time he's tried to do this.
This week or what?
Ever. That this specific senator has tried to do it over the course of his career.
Did the attempt at the Senate or at the House most recently fail as well?
I don't know. This is specifically a national legislation that he's trying to do. His previous attempts failed. This one has just been proposed, so we don't know nothing happened with it yet. But it basically redefines obscenity to ban porn, and obviously it would also be used to ban anything pro-LGBT.
Yeah. They banned the fanboys. Damn it, bro.
They're banning femboy hooters.
I mean, that's not entirely wrong. That's the worst part. Because they'd be seen as effeminate and not towing the line of masculinity.
Therefore, that's somehow obscene.
Yeah, exactly.
In other news, we're going to Georgia where things have gone full Handmaid's Tale. As in, I believe this was actually a plot of an episode of The Handmaid's Tale. Where a brain-dead woman in Georgia has been hooked up to life support over the wishes of her family due to a Georgia abortion law.
It shouldn't be possible, and it's just stupid that this thing is actually possible.
Once again, dystopia.
Which I'd like to point, I'm pretty sure that is the plot of an episode of The Handmaid's Tale.
Probably.
Of where something to this effect happens. Alright?
That is outrageous.
That is the absolute bullshit of the world we live in right now. To backtrack to one of the things that Mina had wanted me to cover, the Ohio wants a heterosexual Pride Month.
They don't deserve
what?
They didn't fucking. They don't have no rights against. They don't have lack of rights to marry. Also, on top of that, I just want to point out every time people have tried to do this, the turnout for those have been abysmal.
Yeah. So I've Google searched in an incognito window, Ohio Heterosexual Pride Month. The first result: Ohio Republicans introduced a bill to designate a month honoring heterosexual married families. Second result: conservatives are so envious of Pride Month they introduced a bill for Natural Family Month. Third result: in a dig at Pride, Ohio pushed Natural Family Month. Then there's a bar owner in Ohio from 2024 promoting heterosexual awesomeness month in response to Pride.
Yeah, I remember that one.
He's just
They don't understand.
Cringe.
They don't understand why homosexuals want rights, because they see rights as a pie, or they see themselves as better than people, and they see people who are like that as a flaw, which is why they don't see it required. So they see the acceptance of non-heterosexual people as basically impeding on their rights, or their rights to discriminate, which is just disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
In other news, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that the federal government can't just deport people to El Salvador in the middle of the night with functionally no warning. Because, yeah, the Trump administration has been trying to do that still. And Trump proceeded to throw a absolute hissy fit over this, as he does. Basically trying to argue that the Supreme Court is making it so that the president can't get dangerous criminals off the street. Where it's like, no, that's not what they're saying.
Wait, what's going
They're
on?
saying the
What
Supreme
means-
Court said
Come back.
that the president can't just deport people in the middle of the night with no
He
warning.
needs to give them a warning.
He needs to give them a warning, and it has to be more than 24 hours.
Well, he's
Yeah,
the
but that guy
president,
off
do
together.
whatever he wants.
Well, yeah, apparently.
Is what the
And Trump's
MAGA
like-
is what the MAGA idiots would say.
Apparently becoming a president means that you are actually a dictator. Oh, crazy.
Also, Jimmy, because we covered it while you were up, the story you'd respond to what to of the brain-dead woman in Georgia who was hooked up to life support over the wish of her family due to the Georgia abortion law.
I've been
This
somewhat
is
following
absolutely sickening.
that, and that's just vile. I'm sorry, you should not be able to do that.
My
That-
understanding that is literally an episode of The Handmaid's Tale.
Probably. By the way, I just want to say that should be illegal
It should be, but you
because
know,
that child is not going to survive.
But it shouldn't be possible. Like, sorry, like the
And
state
going
also should
forward.
have its limits to like
Great
interfere.
question.
Like,
Probably because
so-
meat is below the Roomba guest part. You should probably have him cover it. Oh, there we go. All right. I didn't realize it now. Thanks, Mina. But yeah,
Layered.
It's just. I've been somewhat following it, and from a somewhat TLDR that I've gotten from trying to understand it, it's just. That should be illegal. That fetus is not going to survive. She was pregnant from 9 weeks.
yeah,
and she
okay,
is
it's over.
dead. That fetus is not going to survive inside a dead woman's body. Even if she's hooked up to whatever it is to try and keep the baby alive. There's no way that fetus is going to come out alive. And then, what is going to probably happen is that they're going to send the bill to the family. Even though the family
yes,
says, no, we
they're
don't
gonna build
want
a
this.
family for it too. They're gonna try and build a family for it. You know they are.
Family for it?
They're gonna try and build a family for the government forcing her to be hooked up to life support for months.
And finally
in a
saying that
US
it's
hospital.
over. And it's over the family wishes, bro. If the family says she should die, like it should end. bro.
Yeah, exactly.
They're right. Like, not even the state should be above that, no matter in what circumstance.
Yeah, exactly.
No. No, they should
This is
not
not
be
even
doing
the-
that.
This is someone
Honestly,
who is, for all
this is-
intents and purposes, legally dead
Yeah.
and medically dead.
This is still not the grossest thing I've heard of.
Yeah, always gross things.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always very gross things to hear about, but
No,
it's just
I did not know that. I did not want to.
You can always dip darker.
I-
So yeah.
I have one that's darker, and I'm not gonna share it because
Yeah,
it when I heard about it, it kind of like it broke me.
Yeah, then better not.
like I know people
always
who are
gross.
pro-life. My mom, for example, she is pro-life. I don't think she would agree with this.
This is not just pro-life, bro. This is basically just what the fuck
No,
are you
when
doing?
I mean that, I mean she is not forward to abortion. But even then, I'm pretty sure she would agree with me in saying that's just fucking stupid. That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, of course, because it's just fucking sickening. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's stomach turning. I'm sorry, that should not be a thing the government can do to your family member.
Yeah, that's like Amy said, actually dystopian. That's actually, yeah.
That's just you're just torturing a fetus, and you're also torturing the family of the woman who died.
Yeah. But we gotta protect the kids, am I right? That's why we're getting rid of Medicaid.
I hate that saying, because we all know that it's not about the kids.
No,
As
it's
soon
not
as
about
they're-
protecting the kids. This is the same party whose official stance is they want to get rid of school lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about protect the kids until the kids are born. Then fuck you.
Yeah. Because it's not
Fuck your
actually.
education, fuck your health, fuck everything. Yippee! Just have to be
Anyway.
born, basically.
Enough of this. Let's talk about something funny. We're going to
Hopefully.
Norway.
Hold on, wait.
So-
Before we go to Norway, guys, I have a question to ask of all of you.
Yeah?
Give me a Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Absolutely.
What do you mean? A
Yes.
Pokemon.
I'm going to, while we are talking about this, I'm
Absol.
going to go through the Pokemon Center and look at one plushie of every Pokemon. Are you fucking? Wait, no. This is the American one. This is the American one. This is not the UK one. The UK one specifically.
Jolteon.
What?
Okay, I want everyone to give me a plushie of a Pokemon, so I can look at.
Absol.
Jolteon.
Alright, Jolteon.
Let's do the Gardevoir.
Ignoring me.
No, I have Absol already lined up. Gardevoir.
Add the big life-size Gardevoir plush to the list.
You want me to put up the life-size one, the 63-inch one?
Yeah.
The one that's,
Yes.
that's worth $400.
Yes,
that
I'm
one
sure
has
there's gonna
no-
be something hilarious.
That one
There's
has
no
no-
reviews?
Nope.
What?
What?
I deleted the reviews.
They deleted the reviews.
Let's go with the Sitting Cuties one. Bolt.
How about the big Lucario? Is there any for the big Lucario?
Let me look.
You are asking me. Obviously, I'm gonna say Chew.
There are. Hold on. I need to. There's a lot of Lucario items. There are 196 reviews for Lucario.
Big
God,
Lucario.
Pikachu. There's so many. You sure you want Pikachu and not Pichu?
I'm sure I want Pichu. Yes.
Oh, Pichu. Okay, thank fuck. Right, let's just go for the main ones. Let's just go Sitting Cuties, and I'm going to go for Esper. Well, you go do your thing. Say what you have to say. Me while I'm doing this.
Say what you want to say.
I just put pizza in my mouth. Hold on.
Yo, pizza. I'm also gonna eat pizza.
There's puppies in your mouth?
So I have Absol, Jolteon, Gardevoir, Pichu,
Pizza.
Lucario, and
Pizza.
Esper. Hey, pizza here.
I know it. I know.
Oh,
it's bad.
pizza.
I just wanted
Oh
to-
wait, I'm pretty sure Budew has also some funny ones. Budew.
Alright, so.
Wait,
So,
I swear that's how its cry sounds in the game.
Apparently. Hold on, I'm gonna
Mhm.
confirm this. So apparently at some point, Trump asked if the King of Norway could invite him for a royal visit to his castle. You know, as you do.
Mm-hmm.
The King of Norway ignored him, as you should. Though that said, he did recently host Obama
Based.
because Obama was in Norway for like some event or whatever, and the king invited him over because they've met before.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure
Obama's
Obama is fun
cool as
at
fuck.
parties.
Yeah,
We all
Obama's
love
based.
Obama.
He's
Yes.
charismatic.
His politics may sometimes be a little weird, but we still love him.
Yeah,
And he has charisma, which Trump has minus 5,000.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, based Norway. In other news,
Nobody.
so we mentioned previously that there was the judge in Wisconsin who got arrested for quote unquote helping an immigrant escape ICE custody, which was she told them to go out a different door, which led to the same hallway.
I remember that one.
She has been officially charged by the federal government with that crime, and her lawyers filed a motion to have the entire case dismissed on immunity grounds. And they specifically cited the Supreme Court ruling which gave Trump his immunity as official act. So it's like, all right, federal government, all right, Mr. Trump, you want to do this? Fine. I'm immune because you are.
Yeah,
So
fair
if you're
point.
not immune,
So
so if
no-
I'm not immune, you're not immune anymore. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
So basically, no matter who, unless the federal government basically backs down, one way or another, they're going to be appealing this basically all the way up.
If I go to jail, you go fucking jail.
Yeah, if I go to jail, I'm taking you with me.
If I jump off this cliff, you'll do
Mr.
so.
Donald Fart.
Yeah, exactly. Basically. In other news, in Kentucky, there was a raft of tornadoes, like overnight or something. I think it was, which killed 18 people, unfortunately.
Rest in
You
peace.
know, that wouldn't have happened if FEMA was around, wouldn't it? Or is
Well,
there
no,
wouldn't
it's
have been
not-
as many
not-
losses?
I don't know about that one.
No, this has nothing to do with FEMA because FEMA comes in after the fact.
Oh,
No, what would have been helped probably is if Doge hadn't been cutting the National Weather Service, which meant they weren't able to properly provide tornado warnings.
I knew there was something to do with Doge. I must have
course.
mistaken
It
things.
was a different agency that Doge was cutting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
No, don't worry. Just say Doge and we know it.
Yeah.
And finally, before we get to the big world news, we're going to New York,
New York. Wait, the state or the city?
the city,
Oh, okay.
New York City,
NYC.
where so Mexico operates a 3-masted sailing vessel as a training ship, which a lot of countries do, to be fair. And it crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yikes.
Specifically, it was reversing off a pier. It had just been taken off a pier, and it ended up crashing into the bridge, and it broke off the tops of all 3 masts.
That's bad, I think, right?
Yes. From my understanding, several people, like a dozen and a half people, were injured. Some very seriously, and I've seen at least one thing saying that at least one of them had died.
Sheesh.
Because there were people up in the rigging when this collision occurred.
Oh, Jesus.
You can see in the video of like them hanging by their safety harnesses from the rigging. Because luckily they all had their safety harnesses in. Also, luckily, the main part of the mast stayed intact. Because if the whole rigging if the mast had stayed intact, it's entirely possible the ship could have heeled over, or the mast could have broken off lower and gone into the water, dragging the people tied to the mast down with them. And drowned them. So luckily, it basically seems to have gone the best it could have done. From what limited information we have on it at the moment.
Right, time to go get my dinner.
Okay.
What little information we have on it at the moment, it seems like it had been pulled off the pier by a tugboat, and then the tugboat had dropped the line because it should have been good to go under its own power. They weren't going to be maneuvering under sail. They have a small motor on it to power up a small propeller, and they were going to use that to get out of the harbor and stuff. And then what it looks like may have happened is either with the transmission or I've seen something saying that it had a variable pitch propeller and the pitch got stuck back. The point is it got stuck in reverse and it plowed in reverse into the Brooklyn Bridge. Taking out all 3 masts and then bouncing off basically the key. It ran into the key and bounced off. From my understanding, all the injuries from what I'm understanding were aboard the ship. There is the tugboat that had pulled it off the pier is visible in images attempting to run ahead of the ship to try and stop it, but it wasn't able to stop the ship, get into position to stop the ship in time before it hit the bridge. From my understanding, the bridge is fine. The Brooklyn Bridge was famously really overbuilt.
Overbuilt?
Because the design of the bridge, I think it's a hybrid cable stay suspension bridge, where it's both. But there was a bunch of bridges in the time leading up to it had collapsed recently, so way overbuilt the bridge for safety reasons, which was especially useful because it turned out they'd been given low quality steel as being scammed, and they found this out halfway through running cables, and they reran the math. Yeah, even with the lower quality steel, we still are 130% more weight bearing capacity than we need. It's fine. It was way overbuilt is the point, so it's fine. The bridge is fine.
Yeah, thank God.
But yeah, the other part of this though is, oh my god, the American news media is so fucking stupid.
I mean, yeah.
My dad was talking about some of the things he'd seen from news agents talking about it. Well, apparently one of the reporters was like, were they allowed to be here? Yes. They were on an official visit. The Mexicans were not invading New York with a sailing vessel. What were they doing? What were they doing on that boat? Sailing. It's a sailing ship. They were sailing. It's it's some news or whatever was going on and on about trying to find suspicious. No, it was just they had an accident.
That is just absolutely insane.
As hilarious as it would be, as if it had come up because they wanted to have it fight the USS Constitution, that's not what was happening.
The Mexicans, they are invading New York City. With a fucking sailing boat, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Which I'd like to point out, this was a huge sailing vessel. It was set up with to hold 5 square sails on each mast. Huge.
Big boy.
A really big. Yes. And the way it ended up breaking when it hit the bridge was very fortunate. It looks like it should be fixable. I believe it's still basically where they eventually brought it to a stop.
That's nice.
As they're doing rescue operations and investigating what happened. But yeah, the immediate response from some people in the news media was were they here illegally?
My God. Why?
Fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, world news time. The big one from this week, I suppose, would be is India and Pakistan have come to a ceasefire agreement over all their nonsense going on. Trump claims he brokered the ceasefire. Pakistan doesn't identify a broker. India claims it was directly negotiated between the two of them.
Bro,
Hmm.
Trump just wants to take credit for anything good that happens and anything
And
that
until he gets
bad
shut
that
up.
happens. It's Biden. It's the corruptants. It's
Exactly.
the people not
It's-
letting me do X, Y, Z. So just,
Oh my
I just say
God.
if he takes any credit for anything at this point, I just tune him out because
It's like a
of
lie.
course you fucking do. Yeah, you've done that
it's
every
like-
other 20 times.
Yeah, you can tell when Donald Trump's lying because you can see when his mouth is moving.
Bro can tell me he cooked his own food and it's a fucking lie.
He's the kind of person who'd tell you the sky is blue and you go outside and check.
Yeah, basically.
Well, yeah.
I mean, did he say that?
People have been poring over what data's come out over the whole India-Pakistan thing, most notably the air combat that occurred. Yeah. Then that goes to the Ukraine-Russia news, which is actually relatively quiet this week. In terms of raw numbers of things, it was still actually pretty eventful because there was a big bombshell. Because last week, Putin had his Victory Day parade. The day after the Victory Day parade, France, UK, Germany, and Poland, all of their presidents and chancellors or whatever, and prime ministers, met with Zelensky in Ukraine as part of a coalition of the willing meeting, with Trump and 30 other world leaders on the phone as part of this meeting. And they collectively gave Russia an ultimatum. You will agree to a 30-day unconditional ceasefire starting on the 12th of May or face even larger sanctions. And this seems to have caught Putin completely off guard, because he gave like a press conference at like 3 in the morning over this.
They woke him up.
Where he had a counter offer. He rejected the 30-day ceasefire, but instead proposed a resumption of direct peace talks with Ukraine and Turkey to start on the 15th. Peace is in air quotes. He claimed that the peace talks had originally stopped because of Ukraine, which is technically true. But that's because Ukraine realized Russia was basically just asking the same thing over and over again and not actually negotiating, and that was basically just surrender. And Ukraine's like, no, we're not going to do that. Russia just said, you're going to surrender. And Ukraine's like, no, we're not going to do that. And Russia's like, please surrender. And Ukraine's like, no. And then Ukraine just got tired and just left. Yeah. So, that was Putin's counteroffer. Zelensky turns around and says, a ceasefire is a, quote, a necessary basis for diplomacy. But he also said in the same sentence, quote, I will be waiting for Putin in Turkey on Thursday. Personally. Yeah. I hope that this time the Russians will not look for excuses. Zelensky turns around and says, Putin, alright, I am going to be there. I look forward to speaking with you personally.
Goddamn Zelensky. Balls of titanium, that man.
Yeah, and he later explicitly says he will only negotiate with Putin and not an intermediary. Putin, to the surprise of no one, doesn't actually show up himself. He ends up sending someone else, which is the same guy he sent last time. Zelensky eventually goes over to speak with him, and from my understanding, Russia basically just said, you are going to surrender. Again. So nothing's changed. Trump had floated the idea of joining them in Turkey for the peace talks, but ultimately sent Marco Rubio instead, because he's too busy being gifted 747s, I guess, and playing golf.
Yeah.
Well, no, because he is actually in the Middle East doing stuff, but he's too busy being gifted 747s and...
Exactly. Getting bribed by all parents.
Take control of Gaza and meeting with the former Al-Qaeda leader who is currently in charge of Syria. So, you know, that's how that's going. Trump ultimately said, like, he doesn't expect anything to actually happen until he and Putin speak in person. We'll see how that develops. But, you know, probably Trump's gonna, once again, continue to try and not have to sanction Putin because he likes the Russians. In other news, Poland has concluded their investigation to a large Warsaw warehouse fire
Oh yeah, that fire.
from last year. And they officially accused Russia of ordering an arson attack on the facility and ordered the Russian consulate in Krakow closed. Over all this. In other news, Pope Leo XIV has had a phone call with Zelensky, which was his first official international diplomacy stuff with
Good
the world
sign.
leader. Yep. With Zelensky inviting him to visit Ukraine.
Let's go.
We do like ourselves a Pop Leo.
Yeah, he
base
sounds
Pope.
Yep.
like a good chat.
There was a meme rolling around from Pokemon fans when Pope Leo was announced, and he just an image of a Pop Leo with like the
With the Pope hat.
with the Pope hat.
Yep.
Damn,
Yep.
buddy. And finally, we have Estonia. I said at the start of the stream.
Yeah, you said it.
Estonia this week attempted to seize a Russian Shadow Fleet tanker that was flying under no flag, with its previous registrars having pulled its flag rights after the vessel was sanctioned, which legally means it was a pirate/smuggling vessel.
Damn.
So we all know,
We
even
are
the
fine
pirates
field
come back.
liberty.
Estonia went to temporarily say go to port. We want to check your registration. However, they ended up just escorting it out of Estonian waters because Russia scrambled an Su-35 into Estonian airspace to protect the ship,
Damn.
which is the first time Russia has directly moved to protect a member of its shadow fleet. This all
That's
occurred
bad,
in the
then.
Gulf of Finland, by the way.
They are starting to
In
shade.
response to the violation of NATO airspace, a pair of Portuguese F-16s that were stationed in the area took off to keep an eye on things.
Hey, good for Portuguese, right?
Oh, you mean Spain's
Aye.
18th community?
Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing, but I didn't know the number.
Portugal's being based, we don't get to make fun of them right now.
Except they are French, then we get to do that.
So, yeah. I mean, from my understanding, other than the fact they were violating Estonian airspace, the Russian pilots seem to have conducted themselves very professionally, just kind of circling high above the Shadow Fleet tanker, not doing any weird nonsense like low, high-speed passes or anything. They were actually, conducting themselves properly. It seems to be like the tanker is now, parked, in the Russian port, presumably waiting for the Russians to find someone willing to put their flag on this boat. Which is going to be a struggle because the ship itself has been sanctioned for its Shadow Fleet bullshit. Which, cringe.
Yeah.
And finally, in the Middle East, Hamas has, in a lead-up to President Trump's visit to the region, as a goodwill gesture, as they say, released the last living American hostage.
Living.
Yes.
No, I was just pointing out the wording there, that's all.
Yes. And also in that region, Israel has called up a large number of additional reservists in order to re-intensify its operations in Gaza.
What a difference, don't you think?
I'd like to point out, I don't even know what to say at this point anymore on this whole thing. It's just a mess. It's on the one hand, Hamas, if you'd stop hiding in civilian populations and actually, fight and not do war crimes, that'd be great. But on the other hand, Israel, stop bombing markets. Stop dropping aerial bombs on crowded market spaces and hospitals.
And killing children.
I understand your enemy is hiding in the civilian population, but there's if you have identified targets, ask America for the Katana missile. The missile America made that has swords on it.
Wait, you have a missile with swords on it?
Yes, America has a missile with swords on it.
Is that a
which is
picture of it?
yes. Let me see.
I'm sorry for derailing, but hearing that for the first time is
Yeah,
crazy.
the so-called ninja bomb.
The ninja.
Yeah, because it has.
Yeah.
Well, here's a diagram of it at least.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough. Don't worry.
The point is, this is a munition America specifically developed to assassinate terrorists in crowded areas. Where, to put in perspective of the kind of shit we need for this, if we want to target someone who's in a vehicle, we need to know which chair they are sitting in.
Damn.
This is a missile able to target individual people inside a moving vehicle. One of the people we got with this, we got him while he was on his balcony drinking his morning coffee. Where it got him went through the open door behind him and then out a window while barely damaging the building he was in. All right.
Well,
If you're fighting like terrorists and they're hiding among the civilian population, we can give you the no civilian casualties missile. But they're specifically choosing not to.
Yeah, because they want civilian casualties.
Yes.
And then when you call them out on that, oh, you're being unsubmit. No, I'm being a decent human being, you asshole.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. It's. We have the technology, and they're specifically choosing not to use it. Do you really think that if Israel went to the U.S., it's like, hey, we want to buy your really expensive missile that's very good at eliminating civilian casualties when we use it to strike terrorists, can we please buy this from you, or can you give it to us so we stop getting all the bad press from blowing up poor people in the Middle
I don't
East?
care about press.
But they're like, nah, we're just gonna keep dropping dumb. They're dropping dumb bombs, okay? Not even like guided munitions. They've been confirmed to be dropping dumb bombs.
What the fuck is that?
Just unguided. Just it's a big brick full of explosives.
Okay.
That's what a dumb bomb is. It's just a bomb. No guidance, no nothing. It's the good old. There's some fins to make it fall more or less in a straight line, and that's about it. This is the B-17 was extremely accurate. It could land 50% of its ordnance in the target area, not on target, in the target area. All right. It's what they are though. Is they're cheap.
Yeah, no
This is
shit.
It's just a cylinder full of explosives.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Bless you.
Anyway,
Very-
Russia's continued blowing up Ukrainian civilians with drones because that's all they do. And I saw it at the start of the Roomba, actually just before we started. Someone made a compilation of Ukraine slamming drones into Russian drones to take them out of the sky, and put some anime music over it.
Yeah.
Like some of the like. I put the thing in
Yeah,
images.
I saw it without the music, and even without the music, it's just like, what the
I
fuck?
put it in there earlier today too.
Yeah.
It's just the whole. I'm gonna put my mic next to my speaker and see if you can hear it, chat. It's that shit.
It's fucking weird.
Russia's not advancing. There's like no news on like on anything I watch. Like people like occasionally bring up. Yeah, I haven't brought up like the map of like the actual front line in like a month because it hasn't moved. It's like every couple days the Russians take an empty field and that's about it.
Damn.
Basically,
It's just
So, is there anything else, Meep, that you want to share with us?
No, I don't think so.
Alright. Review time. Yeah, let's try and end with something nice. For once in a while. I here have on my screen Absol, Jolteon, Gardevoir, Pichu, the full-size Lucario, Esper, and Badoo. So which one do you guys want to start with?
Go in order.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Alright, Absol. I found one immediately. We have just a little guy. I love my new Absol friend. He's a wonderful companion and sits so politely. I am now safe from any danger or impending threat. Thank you, Absol. We also have my Absol sits on my windowsill and watches over me while I sleep. She's ready to alert me to any danger, and most politely, she sits extremely politely. 10 out of 10, most polite Pokemon in the world. By the way, this is how she sits.
Yeah, I got mine right
Very,
here.
very
Touching
polite.
its- I'm touching the tip of its toes.
Of course you are.
By the way, a picture so we can.
Oh, do you want me to take a picture?
No. We have pictures from the reviews. There's like 50. He's got the French scowl attitude and shape of an edgy friend, little emo man.
Which one?
Never thought I'd see today, when my favorite Gen 3 Dark type will have a plush in stock. Glad I could finally add it to my collection.
Yay.
My students adore this one for art therapeutic lessons. Reasons, sorry.
Yeah, it took me forever to get one.
Sinning Cutie, so true. Absol rarely ever has merchandise. I was looking through the Sinning Cuties collection and said, if they have Absol, I'm buying Absol. And they did have Absol. The blush is great quality. I also bought a few friends for Absol, and they also have great quality. They're well made and worth the price. He's so tiny. He fits right in the palm of your hand. I love him. Look at him.
Adorable.
Tiny. He's small. I jokingly told Ryan, because you know he's in the UK and this is Pokemon Center UK. He's like, I told him, hey, could you please give me one for my birthday?
Give me an absolute plushie.
Morgan, why are you biting my foot?
Right, let's go to Jolteon. Look, by the way, just look at these three tiny boys. There was one I saw. Here, spike in the outside, but friendly on the inside. Jolteon may have a spike look to it, but this blush is anything but, as it's very soft to the touch. It sits well, the smiling face is adorable, and Jolteon looks like he'll give you a smile for your day. You may end up wanting to collect the illusions just as I did.
See, I have a mild problem with most Jolteon plushes as a personal thing,
What?
but I feel like the smile is almost always like who defined. Like all the other evolutions just get a little like line. But it's just like they try to recreate the 2D art, and it's just like it looks a little awkward on 3D things. That's all. A little bit, not a lot. It's just a minor gripe. I've never hated it.
He's just a little guy. I love when
I
everyone's
love-
just he's just a little guy because they're all
Yeah,
like kind of small.
My Jolteon is bigger than most of my evolutions. Because underrated.
Really well made. He looks like, just like the images. It's really nice, just like the images too. The Jolteon I got had a deeper curve in its left ear than the right. Doesn't look like it's supposed to be like that, but I like it. It added a bit of nicer personality to him. Alright, let's go for Gordy Boar. By the way, 5¼ inches. These are fucking tiny.
Yeah.
She's so soft and cute. She sits very nicely and she's very endearing. The picture posted, she is elegance, she is grace. Absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10. We'll love her forever till the end of time. A Gardevoir
And nobody said that.
Pokemon themed blanket.
Nobody said that on the Absol ones to be punny. Is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely adorable. Pun was right there and they just decided, nope.
This
Sorry,
is
I'm
my
good.
child. She's pretty great. She sits on my desk and I just have a small friend there. She keeps me a bit of company and holds small objects. She started carrying me an Omega Ruby, so the least I could do is buy one.
Yeah.
Looks quite dashing with a cute handmade hat. Alright. Let's go to Pichu. See the Puntable baby. He cute and he sits. What more do you want? Plus she's pretty small and I wish there was one that matched the Pokédex size, but either way he is best boy. He sit. Look at the way he sit. Which, by the way, the Sim Cuties for Pichu is bigger than the Gardevoir one. The Pichu one is 7 inches.
Where do you post degrees?
I'm sharing them on stream.
Oh, sorry. I'm stupid.
No, you're not. Ah. Pichu! It's an adorable, smiling baby Pokemon. The ears are so large they tend to be numbered a bit, but that's to be expected. Pairs well with Pikachu and Raichu. Little man. Every single rating for Pichu, all 30 of them are 5 stars.
Oh my god.
Adorable and catches the spirit of the mischievous Pichu.
Yeah, it digs into idea boxes and pulls them out.
Yeah, and then he says that he's cramped on space. P. Right, Lucario. I'm not going through 196 reviews. I hope you all know. I'm trying to go through a few. This is, by the way, purchase limit of 2. You can only buy 2 of these, and they're out of stock currently. So Jesus. 360 pounds.
I'd buy 2 to simulate
Oh.
sensual cuddles.
Chad.
Okay.
Chad. No, horny spray this woman.
I said sensual cuddles, I swear!
Kabi! What is the show? Not Kabi, Amy. What is it supposed to be? I swear to God, your username confused me always.
It's fine. Especially because it kind of fucking happened so suddenly.
Doesn't do my laundry, but still one of the best purchases I've made. Had it for almost 2 years now with no degradation to the material or seams. This is a cute one. It helps me motivate to work out a bit more than I used to. Lucario would love a workout partner to spar, and that helps me move around. That's very cute.
That's adorable.
He is best friend and snuggle buddy. He's there when I am sad, he's there when I am angry, he's there when I am stressed. He protects me from my nightmares. This is a super high quality plush and it just feels nice to hug him and give him a good cuddle. He is in fact life-size, and I haven't named him, but as a good friend on those lonely nights. Although styling him upright is a challenge, I probably didn't ever review him when I bought him. Still bought it back. The plush is fantastic. Oh my god, look at the tiny Riolu sitting on his feet. Oh wait, you can't see it because of my fucking dumbass head. Hold on.
Yeah, now I see it.
There we go. Let me move to the side. There we go. You can see the tiny Riolu. Little baby on the feet.
Let's go.
He protects me at night. He's huge and he is beautiful. I've been wanting to get it for a while now and finally decided to get it. Definitely worth it. He can stand on his own, if leaning on his tail, but if balanced properly, he can also just stand on his feet. The legs are a lot sturdier than the rest of his body and can be a bit hard if bumping into them, but other than that, he's perfect and cuddly. God, he is so chunky. God, he's huge.
Junkie boy.
Ever since I got my Vin, they gave him a nick. Oh my. Honey? Why do you put a harness on the Lucario?
I knew that it was gonna happen. Oh!
Do you guys see it on stream?
Yeah.
I don't even need to look. I know.
Bro.
I can imagine.
That's
Like, goddamn. Oh, good boy spotted. Hopper. Call him Retriever for size reference. This plush is nothing short of amazing and makes a great addition for any collector's display. The stitching is seamless and remarkably sturdy, and the attention to detail is fantastic. The fabric is soft and smooth. It is worth noting that it is worth noting that while the plush can indeed stand on its own thanks to the tail, finding the center of balance can be pretty tricky. It's much easier to just lean it against an additional support such as a wall or a shelf. So, there's 1% of 2 stars, 1% of 3 stars, 8% of 4 stars, 90% out of 196 are 5 stars. Now, we come to some of my favorite reviews. Esper.
God.
Perfectly, extremely pocketable. Perfect size for adventures. It fits perfectly in a sweatshirt pouch, so you can take it anywhere you go. I love my son. He has such beautiful piercing eyes. He deserves all the stars, but alas, I can only give him 5. Yippee!
Yippee!
I don't know what made him the way he is, but I love him anyway. The Pokédex says his expression is just him doing his best to contain his raw power, which is so very metal for such a cute little guy. I know not of his trauma. She's adorable weird. I love how cute and weird looking she is, in the best way. I am now on the hunt to get more Esper items. Alright, I'll wait for you then, for one of them, because it's... Oh my god, there's one of them that's just fucking amazing. By the way, this is how it looks like. Very Jism. Very Jism coated. Well, let's be honest.
No, baby.
He's just a little Jism baby.
No, I got cat.
Oh.
Jump on me.
I think this plush is amazing. I've heard people complain about the head being too small, but I don't see any problems with it. The blank stare is funny and unsettling at the same time. Esper really is adorably weird. I agree. I love Esper. Tiny little Jism cat. He's just a little guy. Small guy. Little. Pocket size. So you can bring him on adventures. I love my little freak. He's so traumatized looking he will be kept safe. Obsessed. A baby. Wish I could buy 50 and place them throughout my room in ominous locations. Why is the Esper one so funny?
I don't know.
Sometimes he falls over, but overall he looks great. Very happy to have one of my favorite Pokemon. Some other plushes. Yo, the chunk. Just a little guy. Every single one of the reviews, he's just a little guy. Because he is just a little guy. Oh, this is a good one. Uses two equally wonderful, slightly different soft fabrics for the head and body, and it's felt like detailing for her flippy fur. Firm and a little difficult to get to sit correctly since she is taller than she is wide. Sits on my desk next to my circa 2007 Munchlax doll, and makes me happy. That's a tiny baby. They're really a little creature. A tiny creature. They love to stare emptily into the darkness. They are small and very holdable. Excellent plush. My beautiful little... Aren't they usually so aggressive? My beautiful little friend. Not sure how to stop him from sending me psychic attacks while I'm working. He does this frequently. Fletch and Nicola was enough to piece him the first time. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I'll read this one from the start. Are they usually so aggressive? My beautiful little friend. Not sure how to stop him from sending me psychic attacks while I'm working. He does this frequently. Fletch and Nicola was enough to piece him the first time. But I fear he craves more. Cute though, so I can deal with the memory loss and frequent migraines.
Well, I don't know about the migraines, honestly.
What?
I don't know about that one.
What is it, I mean?
Like dealing with Oh yeah, Emmy.
Okay, I just said migraines are terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I myself wouldn't deal with that the entire time. Like, damn.
Precious
But
little
fair
baby. Cute, competent, and cuddly. This little guy fits in quite well with my, unfortunately, small collection of espers. Well, if there were more esper merch in the future. My number one, exceptionally cute, a little princess. And then there's this one. Esper. Esper, 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 Esper. Just all caps, Esper, just a bunch. So I think this, there was one I didn't tell you, I didn't say this because, well, I did say it, but you weren't here. It's just this one. He's just a little guy. Small guy. Little. Pocket size, so you can bring him on adventures. People like the funny cat. People like the funny Tism cat. And finally, Badu. I think there's a couple funny ones for Badu. Found this little baby in the forest I was in, so I had to take some photos. She came up to me and I caught her and called her Ivy. She likes talking to other Pokemon in the forest. Oh my god, that's actually a really cute image. That's actually a really well done too.
Because of delay. Oh, this is so adorable.
Whoa,
In the middle of the forest.
Yep. Buddy will look beautiful by any greenery in your home. Not only is it soft, but 10 out of 10 in regards to sitting. One of the nicest looking sitting cuties. Very round and squishy. It's a little beanbag to help it sit. Sometimes if I let him by his antenna like a crane. I love him very much and so does my mom. She does not know Pokemon. Staring. Just a little creature. I like Budio. I think it's one of the few baby Pokemon that I genuinely like. Apart from like Peach and Riolu. Round. Perfect shape. Watches me while I water my plants. Protects me while I sleep. Not a thought behind those eyes. Perfect. The name of the review? Round. Absolute cutie. He's so cute and so precious. I've named him Mint, and he will forever sit on my desk. His face is so... very much a friend. Still a little guy. Got him as a birthday present for a friend. With a face like that, who could be disappointed? Very charming. Not friend. He's just a little guy. I love when reviews are just, he's just a little guy.
Just a little Kremlin, you know I love him.
He's just a little guy.
He's a little potato.
He is very much a little potato. I love this dude. He's such a guy. I love him. It's amazing and so soft and so... you know what I mean. Little guy. Him. Hiking buddy, perfectly shaped and fits in my pocket. I take her out on hikes. Buddy in a tree. Little baby. But yeah, it's just generally, they're just very, very heartwarming. The reviews, I love them. I don't know why I started doing that the other day. I just went through a bunch of Pokemon. I was also like looking for plushies in particular, just curious. Like goddamn. There was one just like extra fluffy of the evolutions, and the only one that didn't get one was Flareon. I'm like so angry because like, why the hell would you? No, wait, no, it wasn't the extra fluffy ones. It was the ones with the big head. I was like, where the hell is my Flareon with a comically large head? I want my
Wait, the
Flareon
Flareon didn't got a comically large Albert Einstein head?
No, he was the
That's
only one who
crazy.
didn't. I was so angry.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
should actually start getting some blushes because the only one I have is the Eevee.
I have a few. I have a Piplup, I have a Kyogre, I have a Sprigatito, I have a Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Bootleg Leafeon, which even if Bootleg,
I know your Flareon.
Yeah, of course you know him. I've sent
Your
you pictures.
Flareon is
Old?
giga
Yes.
old.
Yes, he's very much old. He's probably older
But
than,
wait.
than my Discord account.
I have too many
Oh my god.
plushes to count.
But yeah, no, that Flareon plush there is, you've known him for a while because I've had him for a really, really long time.
Yeah,
Because he was my
mean,
first Pokemon plushie.
I think it was 2 months in our friendship where I figured out about
Yeah.
him.
Mandy and Amy, we've known each other since like 2017.
8 fucking years.
So yeah.
Like if, in like 2 years, it's fucking like 10 years.
Dude, don't remind me of that, please.
I'm just cuddling cat. I'm sorry.
10 fucking years, bro.
10 long years since I've known you, motherfucker.
10 years. And in the meantime, I've gone insane.
Well, you were kind of insane already.
Yeah, but I would say it has gone to the extreme. My insanity has evolved.
Well, I hope my friendship with you has kept you somewhat sane.
Yes, but like the rest has kept me insane.
I'm going insane. I'm literally going insane. Me when I get you. Me when I fucking get you.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, no. If there were plushies I would like to get an Absol plushie, and a Ninetales plushie, and a Wurmple plushie. Because why the fuck would I not want a plushie of what I call my YouTube and Twitch mascot, which is Wurmple.
Womple.
I love him. I love Wurmple very much. Very yes.
I've executed every Womple I've seen on my route.
How dare you?
Wait. Okay, I didn't know that Pokemons could knock off things that you are holding with your Pokemon. That's crazy.
That's just a specific move knockoff.
Okay.
I
That's
just got
like
to
the-
achievements today while, on stream while doing the stream game for today.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, for some reason, there was just no Minecraft this weekend, so it gave me time to play more things on stream yesterday, and I got to play Tank Mechanic Simulator game. I repaired 2 tigers.
You know for what I'm waiting, Jimmy. You know exactly for what I'm waiting in the next few weeks.
Oblivion?
Not just that. You recently have finished Final Fantasy VII,
Oh,
and you just have to do a few
well,
things.
yeah,
So
but
guess what I'm waiting for?
I want to see if I can do it this week, but if I can't,
Yeah.
I'll just
Don't worry.
spend this week to grind because I want to make sure I'm ready for Ruby and Emerald.
I
Specifically
tell you
for
one
Ruby, because I've heard the Ruby
Yeah,
is
Ruby
harder
is
than
disgusting.
Emerald.
It was
Also,
disgusting.
behold, I have fixed this tank.
Damn, man. But yeah, I'm just waiting for Crisis Core.
Yeah, so
Bro.
I'm told.
Tag fucking fair.
481. Let me get the Tiger H in the office.
I have to switch to this character.
Again.
But yeah, I think I'm surprised. Did something happen with me?
No, I believe he just muted himself because he didn't have much to say about
Hi.
it. And
Hi, Meep. What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, you just had nothing to say and decided to mute yourself or something?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I was half expecting you to give any opinion on You know, we've talked about. Jesus Christ, you're already there? Darius, goddamn.
Yeah. I'm already at the Sky Pillar now too.
Good luck with that. By the way, after you're done with that and you beat the 8th gym leader, you can go and catch Rayquaza if you want.
Rayquaza.
First of all, I'm going to level up my
Rayquaza.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Rayquaza! Yeah?
you probably want to level up your Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, I want them all to
Specifically
reach like 60.
because Quan is a motherfucker.
I could want to give them all level 16 before that.
You want to be level 60?
I mean, I'm right, like, most of my Pokemon are already, like, close to reaching 50.
My brother in Christ, I told you that the champion's highest level is 58.
Yeah, okay, but then there was the physic gym which beat my ass, and since then I'm traumatized.
Well, the psychic gym is the psychic gym. If you don't know how to do double battles, you're kind of fucked there, but that's besides the point.
But then again, I was able to first try it because I am fucking insane and bulldozed it.
See, like, you're so over-leveled, you really shouldn't have a problem.
I love levels.
I can see that. I can see that you like over-leveling your Pokemon. Goddamn.
Yes. Like, Jim is already also nearly level 40.
Goddamn. But yeah, no, I've just been...
But yeah, anyways.
Lately, it's just been trying to somewhat find a job. Although I'm not sure I'm gonna get one, but that's.
I hope you're going to succeed soon.
It's just like everyone knows I don't have faith in me.
You have no faith in you.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm fucking me. That's why.
No, like, generally, you are a person that actually, if he focuses on something, he actually keeps on doing it and actually, like, consistently. So, like, that is something you have to take. Like, this is something important in the job. To be always, like, motivated to do it and also be consistent with it. Like, not many, like, there are people that don't have that and you have that, so yeah.
Yeah, but
You have to take that.
I don't trust that. Last job, I was fired within 2 months.
Yeah, but to be fair, that like a lot of people get fired always, or like the workplace is shitty, or another reason. Like these days, fucking employers are like fucking dickheads most of the time.
Well, I mean, they weren't dickheads. I was just not good at my job. And that's why I fear I'm just going to keep on being just not good at my job because I don't know how to do job properly. Because I'd rather be doing this than an actual job. And that's a problem. I know it's a problem, but it's like, this is the only thing I know how to do. Like, I don't think I'm good for anything else but doing this.
I mean, fair, once again, like, who knows? It can become your job in the future, and like, it is your dream, and it's important to have dreams.
That's what I've been trying to do.
But like, still, like, when it came to a normal job where you're fired, like, look, you have to also get experience. Like, that's normal.
Yeah, but this day and age, every single job that wants people already want experience. It's like, dude.
Yeah. They expect a lot of things, but and then at the same time I ask myself why the economy is actually going down.
The one of the things that I hate the most is when I hear, oh, entry-level jobs, and it's like, oh, yeah, no, you still need experience for this shit. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
that makes no sense. Hello? What?
Like, bro, like, you have to study, like, when it comes to actually a few higher jobs. You have to study for, like, I don't know how many years. And then they also expect 10 years of experience, where I'm like, brother, are you fucking insane?
Bruh.
You want me to be 40?
No, they want you to be 20 with the experience of a 30-year-old.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, yeah, you could also be like the mastermind. You could be the second Albert Einstein and be like, I finish every class without any problem, I study with the perfect age, and also at the same time while I study, I get this fucking job experience. Like, yeah, okay.
I remember seeing a post where it was someone complaining about, like, I was applying for a job, they wanted, like, 10 years of experience in some programming language. So I'm not qualified because I've only been working with it for 8 years. I'd like to point out, I invented that programming language!
That is fucking insane.
That's insane.
For asking for more experience with this thing that it's physically possible to have.
I'm going insane. I genuinely feel when I hear these things that I'm just going insane. That there's
No, but it's
there's
like
no way that's possible, but it just fucking is. By the way, I just want to point out this is probably one of the
Hate
longest
late
Roombas
stage
we've had for a
capitalism.
while.
I hate late stage capitalism. I hate late stage capitalism.
I had capitalism.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely one of the longer ones we've had because it's nearly 2 where I am.
Y'all
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to
it's
stop for
nearly
today,
11 p.m.
Try to wrap up this this rant about job finding because I fucking hate it here because
Yeah.
I don't I
Fine with swapping at the stream, yeah.
just I really don't have much faith in me for these kinds of things. I've realized throughout the years that I'm not someone to be trusted for these kinds of things.
Look, you are able to be trusted, but a lot of people have those issues that they just don't find a job or get fired.
Exactly.
It's the fucking economy being fucking stupid. That's what's happening. And that's why also the economy is going down. And let's see how the employers are going to talk in 10 to 20 years when another Great Depression happens.
I saw a meme about this. It's like, oh, you better study unless you want to be flipping burgers, and then it just keeps going like,
Oh, really?
You think flipping burgers is too good for you? It's like, no, but I can't do flipping burgers. I studied for something else that isn't flipping fucking burgers.
I give you also one example. There are a lot of people that currently study in my country. Do you know what jobs are missing? Not the jobs you're studying for. The hand, like straight up the practical jobs.
Yeah.
That are the jobs that are missing. So like if anyone, like there are a few people that say like, if you don't study, you're absolutely useless. No, actually if you would go to those practical jobs, you're far more useful than the fucking people that study currently.
There's also like, I saw a meme about this going around a while back. It's like, hey, y'all remember, this is an American side meme, it's like, hey, do you remember those, like, jobs that the immigrants tried to take from us? Yeah, okay, have fun going and picking blueberries. Because it's, you know, it's that time of the year to be picking blueberries.
Yeah, see, the thing is that they don't think that it's them taking, like, jobs that people actually want. They're taking the jobs that nobody else is applying for.
Because they just take anything they can because they need the money.
It's just annoying.
Just like, make it make sense, please. It doesn't. Okay, then find a way to make it make sense. Don't wanna.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's like, okay, find a way to make it make sense. Find a way to make these kinds of things, like, you know, feasible for those that aren't on these kinds of things. No, don't wanna. Okay, then what are you going to do? Keep complaining. Why? Because I want to. Because I want to have everything and want no one else to have anything, and want to have everyone else have nothing. It's like, you need to be shoved into a locker, for lack of better term, you know.
Like when I go to social media and watch videos, like the reels and stuff, there's so many videos who are fucking joking on the job market and fucking like making fun out of it. It's that absurd.
Like, for crying out loud, I shouldn't be, but I've been applying to fucking Burger King. I don't want to, but I have to.
Generally, like if you actually have a job, actually that's already a good thing these days. Honestly, like
Yeah.
It's not even if you have a job, because you may have a job, but you can lose at any point. No, it's having a stable job. And a lot of people want a stable job, but don't want any of the consequences from any of the, you know, necessities from having a stable job, of what you have to do responsibility-wise for a stable job.
Yeah. And most of the like push jobs, at least in my schools and stuff, are either jobs that are fucking boring as fuck and are just desk jobs, or basically jobs where you're basically a slave for not like, and you don't earn that much. That are the jobs that are being pushed through in school, instead of actually giving good education on job orientation, at least over here, which I just fucking hate.
No wonder, honestly.
But I mean, anyway, like Austrian education is like focused like this. There are the people that actually go to school, and then there are the people that like they finish school with 15 years old, and then they go to work.
Yeah, and even
I
then,
don't know
you
if
shouldn't
that's-
you shouldn't have to force 15, 16-year-olds to go find a job.
Yeah, that's crazy, but they do it over here at least. 15 years old.
Again,
Well, I don't
it's
even
like,
ha- like,
if you
I-
if you
yeah.
want, sure, you can go for it. You can, I don't know, fucking flip burgers, or like go to the local amusement park to help there and shit like that, which is, you know, okay, fair enough. That's kind of entry, you know, low income entry level jobs that teenagers want, because, you know, oh, I want this new console, or I want to save money for a driver's license, or I want to save money so I can do something cool. You know, yeah, entry level jobs, summer jobs. That's fair. But
Yeah.
expecting those kinds of jobs to require like people over 20 with studies, and even then you're asking them years of experience that they don't have because they've been studying for a better job, but they're stuck doing your shitty ass job. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
It's unreal, Engine. And it's just, why? Why do you want to put people through these horrible conditions for a job so you can spit at their faces? This is going to eventually backfire.
Oh, it is. 100%.
And when it backfires,
Because-
they're not gonna like it. Because it's basically the same thing. We're just going to end up with another fucking industrial revolution type deal. Like, the workers want fair wages and fair money so they can live out of their work. And if you don't give them those fair wages and work hours, we're just going back to slavery. And no.
Yeah,
Basically.
that's what the rich want.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the rich want. But it's going to happen again. It's going to backfire on them. I'm going to say this metaphorically. The guillotine's going to fall on them.
Yeah.
Heads will roll.
Like, it doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even happen to like that. But because look, all of those job positions, they are not getting filled that they offer because their fucking requirements are that absurd.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like incredulous. Like, why the fuck would you need a burger flipper to need 4 years of like studies? From what?
Yeah,
From
okay.
flipping burgers? It's like, also, this isn't a Europe thing. This is a more American thing, which I've always been baffled. The fact that these kinds of jobs just are horrible in terms of money. They give nothing.
Oh yeah, it's the burger index of how many Big Macs can you afford off of 1 hour of minimum wage. When minimum wage was established, it was nearly 7. Nowadays, you can't even afford 1.
That's crazy. Honestly, that's just sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just
It's just-
depressing.
I've become depressed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's always there. I'm just like,
If I remember right, if the U.S. minimum wage was adjusted for purchasing power, nowadays it'd be over $40 an hour. I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
And how much is it?
$7.25.
My brother in Christ.
And in certain,
Well, if we raise it, we're
type,
gonna
you're
make
on
we're
less.
gonna make your burger. cost like $80.
That's crazy.
No?
No, that's exactly what they think. He's just like, no, fuck off.
That's what they argue for why we can't raise minimum wage, even though the Dutch exist, not the Dutch, the Denmark.
They don't look at other countries
Denmark.
because they
Other countries
don't
don't
think other
exist.
countries matter.
Yeah.
We're like, why are we looking at Deutschland? I don't care about them. I care about America.
Deutschland.
The Netherlands, isn't that like the thing from that Minecraft video game?
Oh my god.
Damn.
Austria? Do you mean Australia?
Basically, I swear to God, how often that happened. I have to mention. Wait, what do I
It's a
have to
joke in
mention?
Penguins of Madagascar.
But it's
It's a
fucking
joke
crazy.
in every game, in every place that it features Austria.
What can I tell you? We are also upside down, apparently. But yeah,
It's just every time I think about it, the more I'm just like, how the hell did you guys not do a revolution already? For
Oh
this
yeah,
specific-
when it comes to America, I'm absolutely surprised.
Well, because
And I-
the media got deregulated, so only like 3 people own like 90% of all news media in the U.S. And they basically tell you that they just scapegoat the other side for all your problems. So long as you keep lambasting against gay people or whatever, people
course.
blame them for, or immigrants, blame them for all the problems, which then means you don't have to actually solve any real problems. It's the you're confronted by the angry mob brandishing pitchforks and torches, and instead of addressing the problems, you convince everyone holding a pitchfork that everyone who's holding a torch wants to take away their rights to hold a pitchfork, and vice versa. And all of a sudden, they're fighting each other instead of you.
Basically,
And that's basically the U.S. political situation summarized.
which is fucking stupid.
Yes,
awful.
very much so. Again, it's just baffling. It just baffles me.
Anyway, who are we gonna rate?
Hold on, give me a second. I want to finish this Tiger one before we finish with this. Yeah, this Tiger one actually. Which
I'm gonna get off then because I'm not gonna sit around for 3 hours while
Okay.
you fiddle with the tiger.
I think I will too. Have a good night.
All right.
Good night.
There they go. Work
Yeah,
experience.
there you go.
My work experience: what lab summer intern, 3 years in college, a dinosaur park for 1 summer, sub shop for food for half a year, department store for 5 years, water park for 3 years, and a water treatment plant until now. Damn. Which, by the way, I just want to say that it wasn't that hard. I'm already done with it. Yeah, already done with it. All right. They could have waited like 20 seconds more, and I would have been done with the tiger one. But yeah, anyone wants to rate anyone specific?
Is there Ryan? Oh no, Ryan should probably be asleep.
Ryan? No, look. Ryan could be. Oh, by the way, that's okay. Don't worry about it, Darius. He's just going to go off and scold Kyogre and Groudon. So you're okay.
Okay. Don't have to fight him. Good.
Oh no, you can still fight it and catch it. Just after the fact.
Yeah, later on, but not yet.
Well, kind of immediate. After that, you can just go back and catch it. But yeah,
Like which level is he? Is he level 70?
70.
Okay, yeah.
If you catch that Rayquaza, the Elite Four is just easy. You just win. It's more or less an insta win button.
Yeah, but I guess I want to fight Elite Four on, like, you know,
Yeah,
on
no
a real
shit.
basis.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like you're already over leveled as shit, but you know.
Okay, for them I have to like reach level 60 from what I've heard.
58. I told you highest level is 58.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah,
you
okay.
being on the 50 should be fine. Also, I don't see anyone I could rate, so I'm just not gonna rate anyone. I will see you all tomorrow with other things.
Bye bye.
Hopefully I can
To the
do-
stream.
Yeah. Alright, see you all. Bye bye.